Happy Tuesday! Thank you for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. And it's a time where we can relax and craft for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end with you, so you can be part of the process along the whole way and work with me and just come and chit chat. So tonight, you guys, I am doing a little prep work. So I just can't stand these bolts of fabrics and this batting in the corner of the room anymore, so we are going to cut it up tonight, and we're going to do that for the Splendid Sampler 2. So I have been doing the quilt as you go process, and what that means is that I am sewing my blocks together, sewing them to the back, and quilting them. You can see it's all quilted, and there's batting in there. I'm quilting it in smaller squares and then assembling those squares with a sort of binding strip. We've gone through this process before, and we'll go through it more again. But I need squares of fabric for the backing, and I need squares of batting, along with all the little sashing. There's white sashing and little tiny cornerstones there, little squares in the middle of the sashing. I would like to see if we can cut all that up tonight and just maybe see where we're at in the process. I haven't pulled all this out in a little while. We've just been making blocks. So let's see how far we are with this project, see how many more of these squares we need to make and how many we need to cut out, and hopefully we have enough fabric. That is the next challenge. We may run out of my background fabric, and I might just piece together some background fabric from scraps. So use what I got here. All right, so I'm going to flip you over and we will get started here. Okay, so here we are. So I thought first off, so here's my background fabric. It's on the bolt, and see, it's just too much. I can't have a giant bolt like this hanging out in this small kitchen dining room space anymore. But I don't have a whole lot left. I think we might cut up everything on the bolt here, so we'll see. But here is what I have done for my quilt so far. Look, there's Chad. It says Chad right there, Chad Kitty. So I'm gonna just lay out. I'm gonna get this up a little higher so we can count. So all right, let's just first think about this. I have there's gonna be 100 blocks, right? And I am putting them into squares of 4, and we can kind of see that. I have a bunch of squares done already here. So here are squares that are in the 4, but I don't have quilted or the back or anything yet. So so there's 100 blocks, and they're in squares of 4 ultimately. So there must be 25 of these when we're done. So I want to first count how many we actually have in a quilted state. Oh man, you guys, we are going to be doing some math tonight. I don't know how I'm going to fare with that, so we'll see. All right, so this is the top row. So the top row should have 5. So I'm making a 5 of the 4 patches by 5 to equal 100 blocks total. So it'll be like 25 of these. Times 4 is 100. Okay, we're still all right. All right, 1. Here's the second. 2, 3. Well, I know this is 5 because it's 1 row. 4 and 5. So this is 5 done. I like that it's all quilted and fun already. Okay, 5. And then we have a couple here for the next row, so 6, 7. All right, so that means we have 18 more to make, right? If that's 7, 18 is 25, right? Okay, now we write stuff down. So I need 18 batting pieces and 18 backing pieces. And that's where we can start for the time being, but I just want to see, okay, so let's say we have 7 completed, 7 4 patches. And then we have these guys. I just want to count how many we have here because I do want to figure out how much more sashing we need as well and how many more cornerstones. So we have 1, oh, look at them. They're so fun to look at again. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 that are in the 4 patches. Okay, so 4 in 4 patch. So we'll have to figure out how much sashing and stuff we need yet. So all right, let's start first with the batting and backing because that's really what I want to get done tonight because that's the bulky stuff that is just annoying and in my way at this point. So I just want a stack of 18 pieces of batting and 18 pieces of backing when we're done. So I'm going to do just a quick measurement. I believe, so this is supposed to be 6.5 inches and 6.5 inches, and then we add another half inch, okay, so ultimately this will be, all right, 6.5 inches, 6.5 inches, and this was a 1-inch strip. So if we take a ½ inch away from there and a ½ inch away from here, I think we should measure, it should be about 12.5 inches, right? So this would be 6.25 right now, 6.25. Oh, that's 12.5, and then another half, 13. So we need, oh yeah, and it is, we're at a good 13 inches here. Because of that sashing, this is 13 inches. So I am going to need this batting, or this backing should have a little overlap, you know, kind of like how we make a quilt where it's a little bit more than we need. So I probably want to add on for sure another inch. I don't know if I really need to go more than an inch, although that's kind of cutting it close. Then I'd only have this much on this side for leeway and this much on this side. I almost want to go 2 more inches. But then we're kind of wasting fabric too. But, you know, we can piece together the fabric. So, all right, let's say we do 14-inch squares. Oh, no, that's just 1 extra inch. Let's say we do 15-inch squares for this. Oh, I know, right? So let's see. So this is like about 42-inch wide fabric. So how many 14-inch guys can we get out of there? That's 28, and another is what? 42? Oh, can we get like exactly 3? 14, and 7. Oh, dang, 14 might work just perfectly. That might be exactly the amount where we can get 3. Okay, we're on a good start here, people. All right, so how many did I need again? 18. So let's just cut strips of 15-inch. Oh, I wanted to do 15-inch, not 14. Hold on. Maybe 14-inch would be fine. Do you think we can get away with 14 inches here? Then we'd only have like a ½ inch on each side. So maybe let's look at one of these ones where you have larger, like a larger area where I left some. How much are we working with there? Because I left some edges on these so we could quilt it. So it's just a little bit over. You know what? I think we're going to just do the 14. I think if you guys all think 14, okay, yeah. If we get in a jam, we'll deal with it then. Oh, you know what? I just remembered, you guys. We actually need this for the backing as well. The sashing. This back sashing. So we're going to need some strips here too. All right, so we need, let's think about this. Since there's 5 in a row, I'm gonna need 4 for the backing strips. So, oh, and then a whole long strip. Oh, dang, we are gonna play fabric chicken. You know what? I think we're going to just cut out the backing pieces, and then we'll cut strips, because we're going to need a strip to connect them the long way too, right? So we are going to need a whole pile of this fabric yet. So we are going to be playing chicken with this for sure. But let's err on the side of having our full backing pieces, and then we can Frankenstein together the other bits if we need to. And okay, so I'm going to just start cutting here. I don't need this to be a perfectly square edge because, again, we're going to be free motion quilting. All that's going to get cut off. So let's see, where is the 14-inch mark on here? 14. All right, you know I got to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. Got to do it. All right, so there we are. Let's, okay, we can get 3 out of each. So that means I just have to cut 6, right? Because 6 times 3 is 18. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die of math today. All right. I know it's just all stupid easy math, but holy cow. Like after 4 p.m., my math goes down the tubes. That is for sure. Whenever someone says numbers this late, it just sounds like, you know, the Charlie Brown teachers, like a what in my head. That's like, I just can't comprehend it anymore at that point. All right, we need 6 of these buggers, if my math is correct. All right, I will cross-cut them later just because these are taking a bunch of space. Ugh, all this big stuff takes up space. All right, that was 1. Someone's going to have to help me count, too, because it's going to be a lot of piddling about here. Oh, gosh, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Well, I do have scraps, but again, I don't know if it's enough scraps to get by either. But at worst, you know, we just won't have this same color on the back all the way through, which is actually maybe kind of fun. It'll show off the quilt as you go. Like if I end up with, you know, maybe a couple white squares on the back, you know, so be it. But who knows? Maybe we'll get it. Okay, this is 2. Maybe we'll end up with white stripes holding the rows together, and if that's the case, that's okay too. In any case, I'm using up fabric, and I'm pretty happy about that. Using up all the fabric. Oh, you think that'd be cute, Barbara? A couple of white squares? Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Did I cut that one 15 inches? No, 14. Okay, good. Sheesh. Yeah, and the thing is, you know, even if I have enough fabric here, I could always still use this for strips, because the strips are going to be the same height, basically. So, you know, I can always make that decision later, too, to add a white square. Right, that was 3. If I happen to have enough here, which I'm not sure I will. Oh, I'm just getting excited about not having to have this bolt of fabric sit around anymore. It's just been sitting in the corner here underneath a pile of batting, which we'll tackle next. All right, this is the 4th one. Ooh, we might do it. Ooh, a lemon and white gingham. That would be really cute. I have some old gingham. if I had yellow though. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay, this is 5. Oh, I think we're gonna get it. Yay. Okay, that's good news. I may have to draw a picture and do actual counting instead of math in a sec here too, because I'm not sure if my brain can handle counting how many sashings or doing the math on the sashing and stuff. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Ha ha! Success! Ooh, maybe we'll even have enough for all the backing strips. Those little binding strips, that'd be a little deal, wouldn't it? Oops, let's keep that out. I think if I do have fabric on the bolt here yet, I'm going to just take it off the bolt and fold it up and put it in a bin versus having the bolt around still. The bolt is so bulky. All right, let's cross cut this first. Ooh, yeah, there's hardly anything here. So I think we'll get our strips next. So I'm going to just set this aside for now. Let's rotate this and do the 14-inch squares, and then one will be like a folded square. So let's just measure again. Yep, so that's about 7 there. And 14, so we'll have a little extra. So I can leave some of the I'm just going to leave the selvage on for now. So actually, I'll probably cut the 7 inches off of the fold and then just leave what's left over here. So I'm going to cut this way so I can measure from the fold. And then we'll just leave the selvages where they're at. And it's a little over 14 inches both ways, so I'm going to just go over the edge just a hair, and I think that'll be fine. All right, let's do 2 at a time if we can. Does my mom have any more? This is my mom's. So I've already stolen, with permission, of my mom's stash of, this is actually her bolt, but she's okay with me using it up. I already used up all mine for this. I thought I had a whole bolt of it yet, but I didn't. I only had a couple folded bits of it. So she let me have the rest of hers, because she's so nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be 14. And then we'll have actually about 15 here. So I'm going to just kind of go over a little bit here too. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, because as long as it's at least that 14. But it doesn't have to be perfect because it's bigger already. We're going to trim it all off. So, all right, I'm going to just open these up. I'm not going to iron these or anything right now. We'll do that before we actually use them. But this should be 6 right now. Awesome. So we're on a roll. All right, I'm going to set these. Well, I'll just plop them up here. Let's do. Actually, that's kind of in my way. I'm going to put them on my chair, and we'll do the other 2 sets. Okay, so we have 18 things to quilt still, though. That's a lot. We're gonna get it though. 7 quilted already. The nice thing is that when we're done, we're gonna be done. It's a nice thing about the quilt as you go. It just is kind of, you just finish. And you don't have to do the whole process of quilting and all that, because you've already done it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Oh, you started piecing the grandfather clock. Oh, good luck, Lucy. Yes, there's so many small pieces to that one, but you know, I kind of like the small pieces for foundation paper piecing. I find they're a little easier to work with for foundation paper piecing. They don't flap around everywhere. But yeah, the ultimate result looks like you've put all these tiny pieces together. It's kind of fun. I love that. All right, that's 12 and 2 more. Yay, this couldn't have worked out better as far as using up fabric. A perfect amount of inches and perfect amount of cuts here. I'm pretty happy about that. There we go. Whew. All right, that was easy. I think the batting is gonna get a little tricky. So let's keep with one fabric, I think. So before I switch over to the batting, let's figure out the sashing a little bit. All right, but that is done. Let's even put a big old check mark here. Kerching. All right, but next up, so this is what I'm talking about. I need to just kind of draw this out. So here's going to be our quilt. Okay, we got the row in the middle. And there, and there. So that's our 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. And this row is done, and 2 are done here. So I actually need, I need those back binding pieces for this many more. So I'm literally going to count these. So. Oh gosh, math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so I need 15 more for these directions, but then we're also going to need these longer strips. Let's see. I guess those probably will just be one long strip, won't they? So this will actually be, if these are all, they're going to be 12 and a half inches once they're in the quilt. So, so about 60 inches. 12 times 5 is 60, right? So that will be at least 2 lengths of the fabric. So width of the fabric. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to need, I already counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8. I'm going to need 8 width of fabric. All right, so there we go. So I need 15 that are the same width. So about, what did we say? It's going to end up being, once we trim it, it'll be 12 and a half inches. Oh, no, it'll be like 13 inches. So, well, since the whole thing is 14 inches, so I could do 15, let's call this 14-inch. How wide were they? I don't remember that. Let's figure it out. All right, so how were these made again? They were a strip folded in half and then sewn in. So the sewn in part is going to be a 1/2 inch because it's 2/4 inches. So a 1/2 inch, and then this is in a 1/2 inch, I'm guessing. Yep, and then that's folded in half. So this is 1 inch and a half. So these are 1.5 inches. Oh, I know, I got to figure out the corner squares and all that. So 14 inch by 1.5 inch. All right, so I need these, and I need 8 width of fabric by 1.5 inches. Okay, so does that seem right to me? This is for the backing sashing, let's call it. Or let's call them binding. That's for that special backing binding, back binding strips. So we do need all the front pieces too, right? So we do need the corner squares. Yep, I need the corner squares and the white sashing, but I'm talking about the back. So the back does not have any corner squares. The corner squares are the little guys here. I will just, when I combine this, it'll just be one long strip like this. See, so this doesn't have any of the cornerstones. All of that happens on the front. So on the front, I have all of these. I'm going to need a whole pile of them. So yes, on the front, when I sew these two together, I'm going to need one long strip like this that is constructed from cornerstones and white pieces, sashing pieces. So we have a lot more math to do on the front than the back. But I think, so for the back, this is what we need. And you know what? Before I confuse myself too much, and since I have the yellow out here, I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut this first, and then we will figure out the rest of what we have going on here. Because we actually have we have other blocks done, right? So we have 4 more blocks that already have a lot of the sashing and the cornerstones. So we got to delete those from our idea here too, except for where they connect to other squares. That's the thing. We have additional guys in here. We actually have to split these all in half. So there's a lot more for the front. So let's just finish the back first. That'll get me less confused, and then we can deal with the front, and then we will head on to batting. Okay, so what did I say? I need 15 14-inch by 1.5 inch strips, and we did 14-inch bits here, so that was, we got 3 out of there, so we should, if we divide this by 3, I should just be able to cut 5 1.5 inch strips for this part, and then 8 additional. This is going to make sense. So 5 and 8. So right now I cut 13 1.5 inch strips, and 5 of them will cut in smaller pieces. All right, this is going to make sense. So let's just cut. And I'm going to use the mat here as my ruler instead of rulers. So hopefully that works. I don't usually like doing that, but I think in this case it's just going to make it a whole lot easier. Okay, but in this case I do want things to be a bit more exacting, so I probably will trim this edge a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to trim so I have this nice edge here, and then we'll start cutting our 1.5 inch strips. And I'm actually I'll cut 5, and then I'll set those aside because those are the ones that we need to cross cut smaller. Oh, let's get that glove on. All right, oop, moved a little bit. Okay, get that little end out of the way. All right, now it's the 1.5 inch strips. And oh man, I am tempted to use another ruler, but we're gonna just use the mat. All right, so here's one. Try and be super careful here. Okay. 1. Yeah, that's how much the strips are because we folded in half and, yep, okay. We're good, I think. How long are the 5 inch strips? So, Oh, the 5 long strips. So I'm going to cross cut them to 14 inches. They probably only need to be around that 13 inches, the size of our blocks, what they'll end up being. But I figured a little extra, it's going to be easy to trim. And then if we need the little bit of extra, it'll be there. I mean, ultimately, we'll just trim off the extra. I figured that'd probably be the easiest way of doing it. All right, this is 3. Oops, shimmied around again. I need to replace the true grips on here, the true grip stickers. 3. 4. I get nervous when I cut. I gotta be quiet. Oh, missed a little part here. There, got it. Okay, and then 1 more. And these will be the 5 that we trim. The 5 that we use for putting them together horizontally, and then we have to save the long strips for later at the end when we're sewing all of our rows together. Okay, so I'm going to just set these aside for now. We will come back and cross-cut these, but I just want to get them out of the way for now. Okay, and now we need 8 for the rest of the piece. We probably don't need quite 8. We probably get away with 7 and then reusing one, but I think we'll just use 8. And then if we have extra at the end, that'll be okay. Okay, good. It doesn't look like I need to cut that anymore. I'm just going to get more fabric available to me here. Wow, we're still going to have fabric on the bolt. I'm pretty dang surprised. That's nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. I thought for sure we'd run out, but we're totally going to have enough. That's crazy. A lot more on that bolt than I thought. All right. 1. So these I'll ultimately sew together to make a super duper long strip that'll sew all the rows together of the quilt. So each row will be sewn together by one of these long ones. Two. Gotta remember to breathe when I cut. Oops, shimmied again there. I would like to get done with all of this prep by tomorrow at the latest. I'm not sure we'll get to everything tonight here, like the batting and all that, but I'm feeling really good about where we are now, and the looming math of it all is, I guess that was a bigger thing on my brain, or am I going to have enough fabric? That was bigger than I thought, and now that I know I have enough, or now that we're doing it, that's kind of going away. Didn't realize that was weighing on me a little bit. All right, that's 5, 3 more. And oodles of fabric left. All right, 2 more. All right, last one. So I won't do like the processing of this yet. Like these got to get sewn together and, you know, pressed in half and all this other stuff. But the fact that the cutting will be done and out of the way, that's awesome. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. So that is, again, for the long strips. This is going to be, if this is the back, it's going to be the long strips that sew the whole entire way across the quilt. Whereas what I'm going to cut now, I'm going to cross cut a few of them. That's for the smaller ones. So I need enough for all of these, right? So that's what that's for. I do need that, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we're safe still. All right, but this part's done. So we did this, and now I just need to cross-cut those, and then we are done with this yellow. And actually, right now, we are done with all the yellow on the bolt. I'm going to just slide this bolt out of here. Ooh, if I can. Ooh, sometimes that's tricky. I think it'd be easier now that there's not so much on. Ooh, there it goes. All right, 1 empty bolt. Oh, nice. All right, so I'm going to just fold up what's left here. And, you know, I'm going to keep it in the bolt format so I can always unfold this and cut more the width of the fabric if I need to. But right now, this is a much smaller format than it's sitting around on the big bolt. So I'm happy, happy, happy about that. Okay, let's cross cut these guys. And I'm going to do it the same way. Oh, it's about 65 inches for each row. So then we'll be about good because 42 and 42 inches, which is the width of fabric about, that'll be, you know, 84 inches or so. So we'll have more than we need. Like I probably didn't need that many strips, but it's just going to make it easier with just making all the strips the same. All right, so again, this won't have to be perfect because I'll end up probably trimming these a little bit. So I'm just putting them in a row. So I'm going to just cut off the fold by 7 inches to get that 14 again, same as what we did earlier. All right, great. You would go a little over. All right. We should have our strips. So this is 4, 8, 10, 11. I know it's not exactly the same size, but it's still more than enough that we need. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yay! All right, so those are ready for when we need them. So we have right now all of the pieces we need for the back, which is just basically these sashing bits and or those like little mini binding bits, and our back panel. So, feel good about that. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside. Actually, I'm gonna just even fold this because we're gonna iron all this. I'm going for less space. So here we are. I'll place these on top. These ones I won't need for a long time, but I'll just leave them on top with the rest of it. All right. This is the back of our quilt right here, the whole quilt right here. Awesome. Okay, let's do some other figuring here. Okay, I need my pen again. So let's start figuring out, I'm going to get way down here again so I can sit. Let's figure out what we need for front. So let's talk about the front sashing. So now the front is divided into 4 squares like that, all right? So we need sashing pieces for all those and cornerstones plus cornerstones for all of these too. So I'm going to just, because I have to do this all visually, I am going to just divide what's left up. So see, now this is why I got the back done first. So we kind of have to do it separately here. So, and then the thing is, we have 4 more that are already in the patches. So we don't need any of these. 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 But we do need this. We need the ones that sew the squares together. So let's just see. I'm going to switch colors if I can. I'm going to just straight up count these. Otherwise, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. These are just the strips that we need. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll count all those first. All right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, I'm just gonna mark 20 so far. How many in a row? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and we have 4 rows of that, so that's 36. Probably don't need to mark them all, but I'm doing it. I'm sure someone there has it. I don't think I counted too many, because we need all these. All of these are the white sashing in the middle. So I'm counting sashings, the white sashing. So what we're doing now are all of these little bits. So there's 4 per each group of 4, and then we need the side ones that will ultimately hold it together when we do our quilt as you go process. So I am going to need all these middle ones. So all right, so far we have 56. All right, and then we need the sideways ones. I know I've already done 4. I've already done these 4, and these 4, and these 4, and these 4, but I didn't do the ones that connect the 4. See what I'm saying? So I didn't count these, but I did count the ones that connect them because they're not connected yet. Ooh, and I need this one and this one as well. So now we're up to 58. All right, so we're up to 58 so far. Okay, let's count the other direction. So let's deal with the ones here first. We're going to need all the ones that connect the rows too. All right, I'm doing everything horizontal now. So this is together, this is together, this is together, this is together, and this is together. But the long ways are not together. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That makes sense. So we're going to need 10 for each row minus the ones we did here. So, okay, let's start here. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then I got to get these funny rows. So that's 60 so far. The rows that I'm partially done. So here I need extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, plus 8. Here I counted that already, and then yeah, I counted that. 10, 1, 2, 3. Yep. So I got that row. Now I just need this other weird row. Oh, that's done. That weird row. That's all connected horizontally. All right, so that's 68. So 122. So it looks like I might need 122 white sashing. Hopefully that's the case. This looks like a whole bunch of marks. I'm guessing that's pretty close. So 122, and we do have some cut. Let's count how many we have cut here, so we don't cut more than we need. 1, 2, 3. Oh, is it 126? Oh, yep, you're right. You're right. That's 16. You're right. 126. Good catch. See, that's what I'm talking about, Terry. Math at night doesn't work well. Even addition. Okay, 1, 2. This is a dumb move to do all this math right now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These kind of stick together. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So what's that? 109? Yeah, okay, so this is what we need to cut yet. We need to cut. So, yeah, great time with plenty of helpers. Exactly. That's why I need you guys. Maybe that's why I'm doing it now. So we ultimately need to cut 109 of these guys. So let's count the cornerstones now. And maybe we won't cut all these tonight anymore, but we'll know exactly what we need to do for it at least, which is great. Okay, cornerstone. Let's mark it with a pen. So let's do horizontal first. So we're gonna need the rows to put together. So we're gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 per row. Okay, so this row we need to do yet, and this row and all these. So same thing. So 1, 2. I'm just going to put markings there so I know that I did it. 3, 4, 5. I gotta do it all visually. It's horrible. This could be done with math with just someone really quick in their head, but whatever. I'm doing it like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 9. So that's 54, right? So far. And then I have these weird rows. So to put this row together will be 1, 2, 3, Okay. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's just 11 more. So we have 65. Oh, and that takes care of them going the other way too. Ooh, that's good. So 65 cornerstones. Yeah, we have them all drawn in, don't we? Yeah, so we don't need any more. So, well, okay, that's great. So 65 cornerstones. Oh, you're teaching it in your visual too, so okay, good. so hopefully this is making sense. You know, I'm literally just counting what I need. Okay, so we need 65 total, it looks like, which is just so funny because we need so many more sashing pieces. I think we counted that right, though. Yeah, I mean, we just need that much more, I suppose. So the top row. We don't need to do the top row because that's already all done. So this is this row up here with the squiggles, and then these two are completed. So they're already connected. So I already have the cornerstones for all those already. They're all done. And same with in the path of these two, but not the connecting to everything else. And then these 4 are just made into 4 squares, so they're not connected to anything else either. That's why they need the cornerstones all over the place, except for in the middle. The middle center one is done. So that's what's happening. So ultimately, this isn't your ultimate number. This is just the number that I need for what I have left to complete. And you know what? This is actually kind of interesting. I get a whole sense of my quilt right here, don't I? So I have kind of this much done, this much kind of made but not assembled, and this is all, like, each one of these represents, oh my god, each one of these represents a square that I don't have done yet. So there we go. All right, I just want to see. I do have some cornerstones here, so let's subtract from that 65. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick together. 5, 6. 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so we just need to do 50, a solid 50 cornerstones to cut. All right, you guys, so I think we will wrap it there tonight, but tomorrow we are going to cut 50 cornerstones. We are going to cut 109 white sashing strips, and then we are going to cut 18 chunks of batting. How big were these? We're going to go around that, probably around that 14, between 13 and 14 inches squares for those. So, all right, that is all we have left. Yay! But all that backing is done, so that's good. Oh, man, you guys. I feel good. I feel really good. This was sticking out in my head yet as a thing to do. So, all right, I'm feeling it. We'll get this all done tomorrow. I think we can do that easy peasy. So, awesome. All right, I'm going to flip you around. You guys, actually, maybe let's just figure what these are one, just to, like, so we have to even do less thinking tomorrow. These 50, those are 1-inch squares. These are 1 inch by 6.5 inches, so the same size as our block. So we'll do 6.5 by 1 inch. We could go a little bigger with these, but now we're going to leave them like this. So 6.5 by 1 inch, and then that was the 14 squares. Okay, let's flip it around now. Now I have zero thinking to do tomorrow. All right. Oh, Catherine, good. I'm glad you I thought that was fun. For me, it was just, it's like a breath of relief right there. Someone's gonna like discover this a bajillion years from now and be like, what the heck were they doing there? All right, you guys, I feel good about this. I don't have to do a single bit of thinking tomorrow. I know exactly how many I need to cut. I know exactly the size. I could have figured this out at the beginning of this quilt, but I thought, meh, let's just start. And now I'm catching up to all that now. That's good. Ooh, and I lost a bolt of fabric. This is what's left of the bolt of fabric. And I have a white bolt of fabric that doesn't have much on either, so maybe after we cut all these strips, I'll be able to take that off the bolt as well, and that would be awesome. Oh, Bonnie, this is what your figuring looks like too. I don't know. It's gotta turn into a picture sometimes for math to work. That's how it has to go. So, all right, you guys. Oh, Glennis, you're still not getting comments. I would try uninstalling your Facebook and then installing it again. You'll have to log in, but all your information and everything will be there still. That sometimes does the trick. Otherwise, I know if you swipe one way or the other, but I know we've been talking about that, so if that's not working, then yeah, I would try uninstalling it and installing it again. But awesome, you guys. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. We're going to finish this up tomorrow, I think. So see you later, guys. Good night.